Fellas, I got to experience scout rifles this evening. I went inside Crucible, a couple Rumble games with Jade Rabbit, and then I picked up a 260 round per minute scout rifle, my favorite Black Scorpion. I don't like to say that I'm always right, because I'm not always right, but in this situation, boys, that gun is nasty. Now let's talk damage values, what we're looking at currently with our scout rifles, and which one of these archetypes is the better or best archetype to be using in Crucible. Now granted, that last one is kind of more or less your preference, but I'm going to give you my opinion. First up, 150 round per minute scout rifles, things like Jade Rabbit, is hitting 66 per crit and 38 per body shot. Needless to say, the scout rifle can 3-tap, which is what we've all been asking for all 150s because they've been in a poor spot for the past year. Now, Jade Rabbit's exotic perk allows you to get more precision damage when you land a body shot first. Unfortunately, that still doesn't change anything, as this weapon is still going to require you to get 3 crits into an enemy if you want to reach that optimal time to kill. Gone are the days when you used to be able to just land crit, body, crit. But that's alright. At least they can 3 crit now. Next on the list, guys, 150 round per minute scout rifles with kill clip. Motion to compel is a good example. That's the trial scout rifle we talked about in our video for 5 lethal primaries. It can actually hit 88 per crit and 50 per body shot. Now, it's not going to kill most Guardians, but if there happens to be 1 or 2 Guardians out there rocking 1 resilience or less, well, you'll be able to gun them down in 2 bodies and 1 crit. 200 round per minute scout rifles. These are things like Mida multi-tool. They hit 51 per crit and 30 per body shot now. That's actually a bump up from its 44 per crit and 29 per body. Now, 180 round per minute scout rifles hit 55 per crit and 35 per body. And with kill clip, guys, it hits 73 per crit and 46 per body. Now, 260 round per minute scout rifles. Things like Black Scorpion, the Iron Banner scout rifle. These are so nasty right now. They hit 45 per crit and 26 per body. Black Scorpion specifically has no problem following up with crit shots, and 45 per crit is super nasty. Pretty much 5 crits. It's going to do anyone in. Now let's hit our exotics real quick because these are the ones we were questioning. Things like Skyburner's Oath and Polaris Lance. First up, I want to mention that things like Skyburner's Oath and also Sunshots, I feel like they had somewhat of a ninja nerf, but not intentional. As you know, explosive payload was supposed to be dialed down a little bit. I think this is somehow affecting Sunshot because it can't 3 crit like the other 150 round per minute hand cannons. Skyburner's Oath is also a weapon I think it's not reflecting correctly either, but I'm still going to give you the numbers. Essentially, guys, it's hitting 41 per crit with a plus 19 explosive round damage. That's when aiming down sights. Now, from the hip, it hits 29 per crit and 21 per explosive round damage. Body shot wise, 21 per body plus the 19 explosive round damage when aiming down sights. And then actually firing from the hip hits 24 per body plus the 21 explosive round damage. Needless to say, guys, I just don't know if Skyburner's Oath has the correct values associated with it. I know DMG tweeted out something earlier in regards to some things that are going to get fixed by next week on the 4th. Hopefully Skyburner's is one of those. Either way it goes, its hip fire damage is still pretty good though, at pretty much 5 body shots. As you know from our AC 130 build, once you get that catalyst, landing those hipfire shots, especially with something like Lion Rampants on your Titan, is extremely easy. Next up is Polaris Lance. This is an exotic scout rifle in the energy slot. And yes, it is a 150 round per minute scout rifle just like Jade Rabbit. It can 3 crits, but it can also 2 crit and 1 body shot with the perfect fifth as its crit shot. Perfect Fit is its exotic perk. We saw from Cammy the other day, he was actually priming enemies up before using his perfect fifth shot. But as you see, it does burn damage and explosive damage, and then you follow with 1 more crit and a body shot. Something just keep in mind if you're shooting to a group of enemies. It pretty much allows this weapon to be a little more forgiving. So overall, guys, the weapons, or at least the archetype from all of this that has impressed me the most, I'm gonna go and say 260 round per minute scout rifles. Felt amazing, man. Now, I was using Jade Rabbit in some Rumble games, and I was doing pretty good with it, but there was actually a guy I was going against using a Mida multi-tool, and he was wrecking with it. I have not used Mida yet since the sandbox changes, so I'm probably going to try out Mida next. But I did try out a few other 200 round per minute scout rifles, and overall I feel like 260, for me, it felt the best. So if you got things like Black Scorpion, especially with something like moving target on it, load it out with the masterwork that ups that range, and it's going to be deadly. I can't wait till we get our hands on the Forsaken 260 round per minute scout rifles and see what they're capable of. So guys, those are your scout rifles. Again, I'm going to keep breaking down the rest of these. If you haven't watched my hand cannon video, I've already went over the hand cannon values that are associated with it and what the damage numbers are over there. So feel free to check that out. Guys, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right. That's how we from.